Okay, today we're going to build a dinosaur. I'm kind of sick of 3-stone rings, and what better to do than to build a dinosaur. I'm going to go ahead and I've already got part of this built, but I'm going to go through and construct it kind of again, and then work on I got the upper part kind of done. First off, let me say that this is really a clay tools project. If anybody out there has a clay tools, this is definitely the way I do it, but since not everybody does, thought we'd go ahead and kind of start this out in matrix. The other kind of modeling that that really lends itself to this is subdivision modeling, and so here happens to be a bitmap I loaded in, subdivided cage with a displacement map, I assume that means. And so we can't do that either in Rhino, so we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way and earn it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get going. The first thing we need to do is get a surface that lends itself to making the main shape of the dinosaur. And so to do that, we're going to kind of start out and just come in here and I found these bitmaps at turbosquid.com. Turbosquid. And I will say that depending on what your budget is, you may just want to bite the bullet and go to TurboSquid and buy this model. But what fun is that? Anybody can buy a model. So we'll make one. But TurboSquid had some really good choices. And all right. So the first thing we do is draw the main outline here. And then I also need a looking down view of this. And unfortunately, I couldn't find any good pictures of a top view of a T-Rex. Apparently, those are in short demand. So we're just going to go ahead and kind of wing it. And so just kind of come out here like so. And then we're only going to go halfway to about here. And whenever I do this, I always hold short of the center. And then I'm going to mirror this from F4 like so. And then I always use blend across here like that, and that way we don't get any indents or anything. So go ahead and select that and hit join. Now we want to locate this on the correct angle. So I'm simply going to come over here and say move from the midpoint of this over here to the midpoint of this piece. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a rotation here and kind of make this the right angle to go in line with the dinosaur dude. So there we go. Okay, so there's that up here. Now to make a surface through here, I like to use a little known tool called C-Sec Profile, which is right here, C-Section Profiles. And here's how that works. Let's go ahead and what we need to do is split this one with this curve. Then we need to turn around and split this curve, split with this one. Okay. There we go. So those are all separate. We want those to all be separate. And then when we click on, let's switch layers here. Maybe orange. C-Sec Profile. Select the profile curves in order. Okay? So it doesn't matter which way, but you need to go clockwise or counterclockwise. So there they are in order. Then I hit enter, and then start of cross-section line, closed equals yes. So then what you do is you draw across this, and when you draw across it, it makes a curve that touches the lines in every It touches each line. So we just draw a cross here, like so, and this gives us profiles. Oops. There we go. So that gives us cross sections that we can use to make our initial surface, like so. Okay, so this is what I did up until this point, and I've actually started this project, and so I'm actually going to delete these curves. I just wanted to show you how I got to this point. And I'm going to turn on the curves that I originally drew. And about the only difference is that as I drew the top view, I kind of came out here and then did basically the same shape. And here's the C-sec profiles as they go along there. And these are broken up the exact same way. So nothing really different there. Okay. The next command we're going to use is curve network, and this is another one that's perhaps a lot of people don't use. When we click the curve network button, first we're going to pick the outside green ones, okay, and then really all we need to do is pick, and I'm not even sure order is important here, and then we're going to pick all the yellow ones too, and up comes the surface network box, and we're just going to leave it on position. We don't want it to fit loosely, we want it to fit to the position, and we say OK, and it generates a surface for us. And what's nice is it generates a surface that comes all the way up to the front because of these front curves up here. So that worked out real well, and of course it stops at this back profile. And it's also real important that when we click on this and go to object information, that this is truly a NURBS, just a surface. Because if it's a poly surface, you're going to have to go back and change your curves such that there's no kinks. There can't be any kinks or starts and stops or hard corners in this, because then Rhino's going to make it a poly surface, and we're going to rely on editing this surface so it can only be a surface. Okay, at this point, I'm going to turn off the curves, and the whole idea here is that we're really just going to grab this surface and push and pull it. Okay, and so if I turn the surface, select the surface, and turn on edit points, there's all my edit points, and I can start pushing and pulling away. This gets a little confusing though, because especially if the through finger isn't shaded, as you can see I have duplicate points, and that's just going to be a big hassle. So the first thing I'm going to do actually is go and draw a plane, and I'm going to draw that plane right through the middle of the part, and then I'll just say U gets split by U. And we'll throw away half of it because, you know, he's obviously symmetrical, and that's the way we're going to work on it. And even though it's split, this is still just a surface. So we're good to go there. And so now we turn on edit points, and now we just start pushing and pulling. You also have to decide how much we have as far as control points. And so I'm just kind of looking at this thing, trying to decide how much detail I can push and pull with these points. Okay, and so oh, here's another thing we got to do. I forgot about this. You can see that I split this, but there's all my control points from the other surface. So let's go ahead and turn these back off. And what we need to do is select this surface and go to the next set of buttons, and right here is shrink trimmed. Okay? And what that does, you don't even see anything happen, but it did it. What it does is it says, okay, I am no longer a part of a trimmed surface. I am my own surface. Now when we turn on the edit points again, lo and behold, the other set's gone. So that's shrink trim surface. Okay, so now we don't get that double anytime I click on a node edit button here. And so here we're just going to start pushing and pulling these, and you just kind of look in every viewport, and you have to, I mean, this is a sculpting project. There's no doubt about it. You have to sit and imagine what this dinosaur looks like and start pushing and pulling these things. And you know, here's this outside node, and we want to pull it way up and start to make his brow, and then we want to pull this one down in and start to make the furrow. And I'm going to use ortho where I need to, but we're going to, and you can select more than one edit point if you need to. And so you just got to really kind of bounce around and select the right points. And you definitely want to use ortho along this line, because we do not want to do anything like that. We don't want to pull any of these nodes off the center, because when we mirror this thing, we need it to join back up. Okay, so away we go. Now, if we're having trouble getting enough edit points to do what we want, we would simply come over here to surface and rebuild it. And we have to be real careful when we rebuild it, because we don't want to relax it too much and pull it away from the edges. Right now we have on the U, we have 9. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So our point count is 9 around here and 29 along here. Okay, so we definitely don't want less. So we might go 30 here, and then here we might go 12 and hit preview. And there we go. Now it's real even spacing. Okay, and we have enough. You don't want too many, because otherwise then to move an area you have to select a ton of them. But you do want enough so that we can do detail like this indent on his nose. So now when we turn on the edit points again, we might select these 4 and then come over here and using ortho push them in, and we start to make this indent. Now it would be really cool if there were some you know, sexier features in Rhino where you could select an area and then have it fall off, and not, you know, have it affect the ones around it as you move it by a setting, you know, kind of like I say, a fall off. But we don't. So we just have to sit and move them, some a little bit, some a lot, and so on. So there's how we start to kind of move this and get this going. And to do his mouth cavity, yeah, we got to come in here and real careful, like select just certain ones, and then I come over here and I move these way up in here, like so. And then we'll grab some more and move those as well. And as we start to move those, we start to make the, like I say, the mouth cavity. So, you know, without taking the time, I really can't record a movie long enough, all the time it took me to sit and push and pull these things. But we'll go ahead and just turn this one off. But here's what I got, pushing and pulling points. And you can see I've rebuilt it really close to the other one. It looks like I have a few more this way, but certainly only about 12 or so this way. And I just sat and looked at this picture and pushed and pulled and tried to make this piece that was coming out here like so. And then you have his jowls here, and I pushed and pulled and brought those out. And we're going to knock a hole through this later anyway, because the finger has to fit through here. And I'm not really working on this to scale yet. And then the next section here is the teeth. And really that's a pretty easily done thing. We just go over here to curve, and we'll go ahead and trace down this way, and then trace down this way, like so. And then we blend across the tip there, and that makes it so these are perfectly tangent and real nice. Now I don't know how pointy we can get to this and still have it be a ring. We might have to, chop them off so that it does, kind of painful to wear. Okay, then we select this bottom one and say split with a point, and it'll split it down here right there at the kind of the base of this whole thing, and we'll join those two together, and we'll join those two together. And then I need a circle up here to represent the shape that I want to sweep down this. So let's go ahead and turn off our dinosaur. And over here is a circle that's made with 2 points. So we click here, and we simply come over and go click and click. That's a pretty easy way to do that. Another way to do that, especially if you wanted some other shape, like let's say we wanted some free-form shape, something like this for the tooth, like so, then we would use orient 2. Orient 2 points, which is right here. So we click that. I usually say copy equals yes, so it leaves my original. And we would turn on the near O snap and go from here to here. Those are my first 2 reference points. And we're going to reference those 2 points over to these 2 target points, which is here and here. So if you wanted something non-round up there like so, that's totally fine, and you would just orient this one up there. Okay, which maybe that would look better, I don't know. Then we simply come over here and go surface sweep 2, rail, rail, profile, and we sweep a tooth. Okay, and so now if we come over here and turn back on our dinosaur and shade this viewport, there's where we start to get some teeth going on. And then I simply just took these, and we can cap it if we want. Might as well cap that. So I hit cap planar. And then we move, and then if you simply grab the tooth and move, then hold down the Alt key, you can see the plus appear. So then when I let up on the mouse, I get a copy. Or you can certainly come over and use duplicate and say, yep, there's my start point, and then everywhere I click, I get a tooth. Let's turn off that near O snap. And, we get teeth really pretty quickly. And then, of course, we have to come over here in this viewport and fix them. So now we come over here and move these over until they're in the right spot, like so. And he's looking mean. I've already gone ahead and done all that, so let's right click and delete those and simply turn on this layer. And I went ahead and scaled some and made them a little different and rotated them, and it's nothing real tricky there. So there they sit. And I also just made a sphere, right, for his eyeball. Here it is here. And as you can see, I went ahead and 1D scaled it, like so. And I think I 1D scaled it this way, and then kind of rotated it like so. Well, no, I don't think I did rotate it. I don't think I scaled it that much either. Just a little bit, perhaps. Oops, scale. Just a little bit. And then moved it up over here. And that's where it's sitting right there. So now, and obviously, what we're going to do is we're going to, when we're ready, we're going to mirror this thing and make the other half. Always looking scary. Oh, I put a divot in his nose. I think it could be more pronounced. Here's he's got these kind of snout things, and I want to push those in more, or maybe even cut Boolean in here later and have it so there's you know, an actual slit in there. But there's the indentation anyway for his nose. And also, depending on how spiky we want them to look, we could also build some smaller teeth-like objects and put them up along this ridge. Also, we're going to play around with a good texture like so and try to get some texturing on them, and we're going to use Apply Mesh UVN for that. So let's go ahead and do something like that. Let's see, I'm going to undo the mirror so we don't have that going on. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on. Okay, so here we are back, and I've gone ahead and drawn out a curve here, and I just went ahead and traced that. And then in the looking down, I drew this shape here, kind of a crocodile type thing, and then I did the same thing. I went ahead and moved it over to this point, and then in this viewport I rotated it down. Okay, now we'll go ahead and do the C-sec profile thing again. So we'll come over here, switch to the yellow layer, and oh shoot, first we got to split these. So you get split by you, and you get split by you. Okay, now we're ready to go. In order, here, here, oops. C-sec profile. In order, there, there, enter. And we'll go ahead and draw a cross here. And then here, here, here. Okay, enter to stop that. So there's that. Now, we have a couple choices that we could actually do here, but and maybe we'll try it. You could edit these profiles right off the start, and as a matter of fact, we'll try that just real quick. Let's go to edit here, and we can click on this curve point and pull it in and make the mouth to start with. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick this edit point here, pull it down, and so that right off the start here, and this one will just do less, and this will keep us from having to edit points as we come along later on the surface. Now, it might help if we were to rebuild some of this. I guess we'll have to see, because we want these points to match up with Alright, we'll move these up. There we go. We want these points to match up with this line, like so. what happened to that one? We'll move this one back over. There we go. Yeah, those got moved a little bit as I moved them, because they should be on this angle. There we go. All right, let's see if that's even going to work. So we'll hit escape there. And let's see how our curve network likes that. This is actually a new idea, and I don't know how it's going to work out with curve network there. And we'll hit OK. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad, but we're going to have to Boolean this anyway. So, I don't know. I think I'd rather have some more control over that. So let's hit redo. There. Let's just stay with what we got. Okay. So let's go ahead and redo this, and we'll do this the same way. So that was worth a shot. We could play around with that and probably make it work. But here, let's, as a matter of fact, just for fun, I want to go ahead and just try region selecting all those. Yeah, that's legal. So that's no trouble. And let's go ahead and put this on the green layer. And this one we'll rebuild with some more points, 15 and 18. Let's go ahead and go 20 and 20 and hit preview. That'll work. Alright, so we're good to go there. And now we want to go ahead and split this thing. So let's go ahead and draw this plane. And we'll say you get split by you, enter, and delete, and we click here, and we go surface shrink trimmed, and we shrink that out, and so there's his mouth. And we'll turn on the edit points, and we'll grab some of these, the first couple in all these rows. And then in this viewport, we'll move them down using ortho. Oh, oops, that was a bit far. There we go. Got to make sure we keep our thicknesses good. There we go. I don't know if we're going to do a tongue in here. All right. And there we go. So there we're starting to make the mouth cavity, like so. And here this one got a little thin right here. So where's this point? That point's right there. So this point got a little deep here. So we'll go ahead and move that one up a little, and that one up a little. There we go. That one's still pretty deep. There. Okay, so you can see we just need to start moving some more points and get this thing going. surface point, move. There we go. Okay. So there's that. Oh, and that looks like I moved that a bit. Let's go back and let's grab some upper points here and move these up. Yep. Move those back up and get that. So we can get this all lined up, all pretty. And that's no trouble. Get these going up. Get that so it matches again. There we go. And then after we get that, yeah, this got a little thin here. Perspective, turn off. It gets pretty hard to see in here. Looks like that one's a bit low. There we go. Alright, so in line with this one, I want that point right there. That's the one that's buried that I want up. There we go. So his gum line was the issue there. Okay, so then we can come over here and steal some teeth. And let's go ahead and pick that one and hit mirror from like the center of his mouth, like so. And those seem to be a little shorter. There we go. Oh yeah, that's looking real crocodile-y. Okay, so we go alt there, and then in here, move that one in, and these perhaps need to be scaled. No, they're not too bad. This one maybe will rotate in a bit, so we'll go rotate here in like that. That'd be good. There we go, starting to get those in there.
So there's about an inch below the wax that's empty.
Like so. Okay, so that's how we're going to do that. And then we need to make the ribbing. And I guess at some point it would be good to have the finger rail going on in here. And let's go ahead and save this. I'm going to hit pause. Okay, so here I've pushed and pulled some points just to put some kind of detail in this side here. Nothing real special. I finished out the teeth. So if we go ahead and pick these here, all except for the last one, we can mirror this and see what it looks like. Yeah, that'll work. So there's his lower jaw. And up here, let's go ahead and mirror this. So he's looking kind of angry. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and undo these mirrors now. We're going to work on just one half of this again. Okay, at this point, I'm going to do just a real quick matrix art thing to show how we can put a texture on here. I don't have a super great texture for this, but let's see what we get here. So let's try, I guess, the lower one. And we're going to go over to Create UV Curves. And there's our curve. And notice it's going up this way. We need to maintain the fact that it's going up that way. But I'm going to rotate it this way to work on it for now. We'll put this on orange is fine. So then we're going to start matrix art. And I'll drag it over in here into my window. Put the curves in the box. And the profile for this, although you can't see it, is going to be flat. It's the one called flat. And I'm going to slide this down so that it has basically no depth, just 0.04. Now we head over to picture. Our resolution, I'm going to update that to about 20. And then load bitmap, my computer drive C. There you go. DG matrix 5.3. And then let's go to matrix materials. Bump maps is a good place to look. And we're looking for kind of a grainy, almost like this gray dirt kind of thing. Maybe we'll try that one. That stipple's a bit too busy. Yeah, maybe we'll try old gray dirt. Open that up. That might be pretty good. At this point, let's see what we have here. I don't see where why don't I have a surface here? Let me check. Okay, of course all these things happen in the movie. I couldn't figure out why I didn't have a surface here. And I guess you might as well see what I did. For some reason I must have hit copy or create UV curves twice or something, but maybe this will happen to you guys someday. When I click here, I have a curve and a curve on top of each other. Well, that's making a hole inside it. So I need to get rid of one of those, and then when I put this in the box, I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting a surface. And that would be why. Right there, because I had a curve inside a curve. And now when we come over here and say load bitmap and there's gray dirt 1 and gray dirt 2. I guess 2's the one I want. And there we go. And the height of that is going to be quite low. There we go. And I always like to come over here. There's the depth is 0.21. Let's hit fill shape. And maybe we'll go a little bigger. There we go. And let's go ahead and offset this down a bit. I'm looking for that big area, kind of like over in here. Then I like to come over to effects and say, let's give me a medium blur amount. That certainly helped there. Oh man, that's looking like a dinosaur to me. You can decide what you want for the blur amount. Maybe that's even better. And then we can try the high-end contrast. And as we pull this down, you'll start to see that kind of flatten out in areas. And that might help actually get rid of some of the detail in there. And you can also do that to the low-end contrast. like so. All depends on what we want. And at that point, I'm going to hit Create Mesh. Now this was, I don't need a cap on this, really. Although if you did cap it, we would get a thickness to it. I'm going to try it uncapped first and hit Create Mesh. And there's our mesh. So I'm going to go ahead and close Matrix Art. And now we need to rotate this back. We need to rotate this back up where it was, like so. So we'll go straight up that way. And what do I have on this layer? Let's go ahead and right-click that and get rid of the, oops. Let's right-click dark green and put this on dark green. And then we're going to say Utilities, Apply Mesh UVN, and the surface to apply to is right here. And there it went on the inside, which is not what I want. And what I do when that happens is I simply come over here and say mirror, copy equals no, and I F4 and go straight out. There we go. So apply mesh UVN once again to here, and that should come to the outside, and it does. And let's see what kind of texture we have. Yeah. And let's try that again, and we'll apply mesh UVN to this one. That go on the inside? Yeah, so that one went on the inside, of course. So, oops, sorry. We'll undo that. And we'll mirror this one again. Copy equals no, F4. Now you might say, why don't you just invert the normals and have the direction normals point the other way? I actually haven't had any luck doing that, so I might be missing the boat somewhere on something, but to me, I find it just as easy to do this and have it be a sure thing. At this point, I'm going to put my texture in a job bag here and delete it so I have less of that going on. And then, so there's with a texture what we have on the dinosaur thus far. And with all the curves turned off, I'm just going to go ahead and grab all this except for this tooth. I want to go just across the middle there. And so we'll go ahead and mirror this to the other side, F4. That's going to take a minute. There we go. So there we've got that going on. And then the last part of this, I guess, this epic model, is we need to get this webbing in here. And so that's going to be pretty straightforward. We'll just go ahead and draw a curve here. There's all the meshes. And we'll come up into here and come down and along here. Now, this mesh, we're going to have to probably regroup and not do this. I'm not sure that made sense. We're going to have to regroup and not map it yet because we got to knock a hole in this thing. And so I got to join all this up and get this so that we can actually get the finger hole through it. We could use Rhino 4 to knock to split the mesh and may end up having to do that just if we want this texture on here. But we'll see. There may be another way to do that. So let's go ahead and simply let's go ahead and come on over into here. And I guess I'd probably make an arc that matches. Yeah, we really got to get the finger. We got to get the finger rail in here. So let's do that. Let's go tools. Boy, hard to say. I assume this is for a guy, but you know, it doesn't have to be. That's certainly true. And I guess I'll go ahead and rotate the finger for now. Be easier to work on the finger size to match all my bitmaps. And so yeah, this guy's too small currently for a size 10 ring, and so we'll need to scale him up. And I guess we'd want to scale everything together so it all stays put. And so I'll go ahead and hit Control A for select all, except for the finger rail. And we'll go to Transform 3D Scale from F4. And up we go. I'll just click there, and it's really hard with those meshes in here. And let's go ahead and click on this and extrude it. That'll give us an idea of what we're up against. Yeah, still not near big enough. So we'll put this on the finger layer. And this might help if we actually shade the model when we go to scale it. When meshes are... Let's turn off... we'll deselect that. Deselect... Actually, we'll turn off that for now. And then we'll scale again. 3D scale from F4. On up we go again. All right. Bring this back in. It's going to be big. And it looks like the finger rail almost needs to be like on this angle. Yeah. Something like that. Give or take. And then we can always, depending on what we want, we can always rotate the, so let's go like so. Yeah, we might have to file down some teeth here. And then let's go ahead and save this now. File, save small. And based on that, we may have to come over here and grab this part of his jaw assembly and rotate that up. So there he is going through a size 10 ring, and I guess I'd make we may have to scale out. Let's go to ghost mode here. No, we may have to make the webbing be the part that holds the ring together here. It's hard to say, but let's try to get a web in here real quick, and then it'll probably be about the end of this video. So in the side view, there we go. And then I guess what we could do is project this curve onto the cylinder. So we'll hit there, project, and that went off. Let's undo that, and let's fix. Here we go. Let's go put that on orange. I don't want this to, let's turn off the, I don't want this to go over the cylinder here. So actually over here on this part, I'm going to turn on the edit points and keep this on the cylinder. That way it won't wrap all the way around. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and click on this and say project onto this. There we go. So now I just have two separate ones. We'll just work on one side. And there we go. And I want to go ahead and make that. Let's turn off this layer too and this layer. And turn off some curves so we can see what we're doing here. And oops. There it is. I gotta put that on a different layer. Okay. This one we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and use patch and make a surface out of this. So let's go to patch. There's my patch options. We'll hit preview. Let's run this up a little bit higher. 20 and 20 preview. There we go. And so that's wrapping around there. There we go. And we'll want this to come out. And I moved it about 1 millimeter. I don't know if that's thick enough or not. That's where you jewelers come in. And to make this actually a solid, let's go ahead and we'll blend. So let's go blend from this edge. Enter to this edge, and there's that. So that'll blend up around there, and that makes it a nice kind of smooth shape. And we'll right click that color and hit join, and then we can apply the texture to this once again. But there's that, and we may have to mess around with this a little bit and tuck that in. But I guess that's another video. And there's our eyeballs. We'll put this on a color that matches. And actually, what we could probably do is let's turn on the. No, we can't. We can't tuck this in because the cylinder comes right by there. There it is there. So we have to leave room for the finger. So let's go ahead and mirror this to the other side. Yep, so we just got to get some more metal in here. And there's there he is, like so. So that's kind of how I would go about building something like this.